welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot, which is pick a card readings on subjects like astrology, karma, aliens, cats, trauma, narcissist abuse healing, and a lot of other subjects. And this is an episode that I have created called Is This Particular Person Trustworthy? So basically, and I have it organized on a playlist on my channel called Is This Person Are They Trustworthy? So it's basically I have four piles, and then you think of a particular person and then intuit to which pile closely resembles them, and then you determine what their kind of personality, character, trustworthiness is like. So like I said, I'm always updating this particular playlists along with my other playlists on the channel. So it's called Are They Trustworthy? And you can find that in the playlist section of the channel. So let's get started. So take a look at the four piles and see which one, think of a particular person, and then look at pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, and see like what pile you intuit is closest resembles the person on your mind. Alright, so let's get started. Now that you've made your selection, let's get started with pile number 1. Alright, pile number 1. Let's see what cards we have for pile number 1 for Is This Person Trustworthy? So we've got 8 of Wands upright, 4 of Cups in reverse, the King of Cups. Interesting. We've got 6 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm hearing that's very, very important to this reading. And then we've got Queen of Swords. Interesting. That's really interesting. The combination of the characters that have shown up here. So let's see. I'm going to make sure all these cards are in the frame. All right. So we've got 5 cards in the frame. So I'm getting at this particular person. They have a very strong sense of self-importance, which could almost border on the regal side. Like they almost, and I'm hearing that they had almost a important role in a past life, and they've carried that into this life, and they're very kind of arrogant about this. That's what I'm hearing. I'm getting a sense of arrogance, and I'm hearing that they kind of, what I'm getting first is that one of the aspects of this person's personality is how they give to other people. I hear that they don't necessarily give to people from a pure place, and it involves it's some sort of manipulation to do with the way they give, and I hear that what they withhold and what they give comes from a place of manipulation. So yeah, like I said, the first thing I'm getting is that they're very regal person, very regal and a regal person, and then how they give to other people, whether they give or whether they don't give, comes from a place of manipulation. And I'm also getting a sense that they have almost an alter ego, like a split self, like a split personality. Because these two sides, I'm drawn to the sides, like they're almost diametrically opposite in a sense. These two cards, like the Cup Arcana and the Swords, like one is about emotion, one is about mental clarity, and they're kind of opposite. We've got the King and the Queen, so I get the word alter ego from this particular person. So it's like they they have this almost this alter ego that does their bidding for them. Like they have a split self, very split. That's what I'm seeing, a very sense of a split self. And this other person does their, I'm trying to get clarity on that. So it's like, and then my cat arrives. Hello, my little kitty cat. So it's like, yeah, and it's like, and I'm hearing that it's almost like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. That's what I'm hearing. Like it's almost like that the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing, and it's like there's a sense of, like, on one hand they have this very regal sort of almost pompous. That's the word that comes to mind. And I'm hearing they could have almost had this role in a past life, or somehow, if it's not a past life, they somehow gotten this role that they're somehow pompous, and that's their outward way of being things. But they also have a very split side of this side that um, well, it's like they can switch very easily between these alter egos that are completely different. And sometimes people, I'm hearing the word, sometimes people don't know what to make of them or deal with them. And it's like this almost, I'm getting a sense of very much unconsciousness with this person. Like they're not connected to the various aspects of themselves. So they're just, they like, they, they act this way, then they act another way. And it's like they're not even, I'm almost going to say it's because with multiple personality, I'm not saying they necessarily have multiple personality, although they might, but sometimes when people have multiple personality, they don't know what the other ones are doing, and I'm seeing that it's something like that, except not quite like that, if that makes sense. It's like they don't know what this other side is doing, and it does this, their bidding for them and takes over, and it's like they'll switch back to this persona. So I'm getting a very split self, like whether, and then they may have actually multiple personalities, but it's more like the structure of their personality resembles that of someone who have multiple personalities without necessarily having multiple personalities, if that makes any sense. And then yeah, manipulation, I get a sense of manipulation, but sometimes they don't even know why they're manipulating. It's like they act in, I hear they act in seven bizarre ways, but they don't even know why they're doing it. Like they act, they don't know, and it's like they don't. I get different things with the Four of Cups, but they don't know how to connect with the various aspects of things. And I also hear with the Eight of Wands that they move through a speed at life that's not integrated or appropriate. Like I almost see that they're awkward in the way that they move through life, and but yeah, I see that they could become manipulative at times, but I'm not getting really worse than that. Like they could be kind of manipulative, and I hear almost pulling the purse strings of the family kind of thing, like just doing something like that. Like they almost like they sort of they and it's like there I see this image of this central figure that they present of. It's like this fluff cloud above their head, and it's like they're there but no one's home. Like their persona's there, they take over, and it's like yeah, it's a really interesting energy that I'm getting from this pile. And I hear you may find this person unpleasant because of they don't listen to other people. They're pompous, a bit manipulative of money, and what they give and what they don't give is part of their manipulation. That's what I'm getting. So it's it may not necessarily be easy to deal with this person, and I'm hearing to deal with this type of person, if you pick this pile, kind of trying to map out their psyche the best you can and try and deal with them in that. Like maybe write out, like you may have seen them switch between these personas, maybe write them out and try and map it out in a way. But it's like they feel very slippery too. That's the feeling I get, slippery. And it's like there's nothing there because there's so many different, they don't, what I'm getting is they don't seem to have a very central self. That's what I'm getting. Like it's like they have these different pieces that are so disparate that they don't seem to have a central self, and they can't put all these pieces together. That's what I'm getting. So it's kind of, it's not a necessarily comfortable feeling I'm getting from this person, but it's not like, it's not scary. It's not as scary as the other piles that I've picked up. It's not comfortable, but it's not as scary. I hope I'm conveying that properly. So priest, I got the priest. Like they may have an energy, like almost. And what I get from that is like they're almost, with the priest card, is that they've left the building almost, like their soul. What I get from that is their soul is somehow like, you know, when people they have, I'm getting the word walk in, but not quite. It's like they've left the building. Their soul may have been like left the building, and I'm hearing for the priest that an exorcism may actually help them, but this will never happen. But it's sort of like in some sort of spiritual healing involving an exorcism. That's really interesting that I'm getting that, because I'm not getting, that's interesting because I'm not getting a terribly scary energy, but it's like mildly scary, if that makes sense, but not as scary as some of the piles that I've pulled. But it's like, but yet I'm getting that they'd benefit from an exorcism. Interesting. Or some sort of spiritual healing along the lines of an exorcism that would help their soul integrate and be back in their body. And love. And I hear that they are not, their pieces of their self are not connected in love. They're not, they're not in a state of love because they're so fractured, and their soul, something has happened, like, to somehow, and I'm hearing something, like, normally I would get childhood for this, but it's like something that happened in their adult life, actually, like, maybe even if they got into some sort of an accident, maybe some sort of trauma or accident. And it's interesting because so many things go back to childhood, but in this case I'm getting some sort of, something happened, like they may have been even pulled into a reality or another, and something happened where they were never the same, as more like along the an adult side. Interesting. It could be as a child, because childhood trauma, but I'm getting it's more, something happened, like they were fine, like, even it might even be all, like, interesting. I know I'm all over the map with this, but it's like it could be something like Alzheimer's too, like something where they've left and they're not spiritually whole anymore. Something happened, and like, it's something, could even be a walk-in, like, but a bad walk-in, like, because sometimes it's a good walk-in, but a bad spiritual being walked in, and now they're fractured all over the place, and it's just a very disparate, not necessarily comfortable energy. So, and I got, okay, how can you deal with this person? I'm going to pull a card from that. Interesting. And I got detached from drama. So this person, I'm getting a sense that this person may, because of their sort of fractured personality, they may create some drama. So like I said earlier, it's kind of like, I write, if you almost wrote up what you kind of know about them to make sense of them. It's almost like a strange puzzle. And if you're intuitive, you can maybe just write out it, go into an intuitive state and just write out what you think their personality, the different parts of their personality, and just sort of map it out in the way that it is appropriate. And that's all I get for pile number one. I wish you luck with dealing with this person, whatever your dealings with them happen to be. And I hope you found this reading useful. And yeah, maybe you can like and subscribe the video, and see my other videos as well. But that's all we get for pile number one. Hope you find it helpful. Now it is time for pile number two. Hello, pile number two. Let's see about, is this person trustworthy? Let's see. Interesting. So we've got, let me make sure all the cards are in the frame. The Chariot. The Chariot. Okay, so we've got, there we go. I'll make sure that's all in the frame. Yeah, it's on the frame. Okay. So we've got the, oh no, it's not. It's, move it up here. Move it up here. Okay, so we've got, starting from right to left, we've got the Chariot. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. We've got the Three of Pentacles upright, the Strength reverse, and Judgment reverse. Interesting. So I'm getting an immediate, mostly no, this person doesn't tend towards trustworthiness. I get a sense that, um, I get that they're kind of, I'm brought to the Chariot first, and I hear that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want, and they're very patient as they do this. And I see this image of them where they kind of give me a plotting energy, a kind of a plotting, and I get that some people may know this person at work, or at work, like I'm hearing it the most untrustworthy they are is with money and business. That's what I'm getting, and their business dealings with other people. That's interesting. So I'm getting interesting. I'm getting to move instead of left to right, which sometimes happens with tarot. I'm moving in this direction for the first four cards, and I'm being called to go in this direction. I'm hearing they'll do whatever in business, like the Knight of Pentacles. It's a very kind of plotting, business oriented card. They'll move forward in business and they'll wait, and they're very. I'm hearing they're very this image. They're very observant. They're very like um observant, and in business is where I hear that they're not trustworthy. Like I don't get an abuser vibe. Like I don't get an abuser vibe, but they're I'm hearing they're very willing to and I hear that sometimes they're not completely like there's I hear that okay, what is it I'm hearing the worst of this pile the worst of the people or the people that are represented by this pile, they can be very untrustworthy, but best at they're kind of very plotting. They're kind of watch for all the information. Like they're kind of like this card reversed, kind of always watching, gathering information, and so I'm hearing it the best. They're in some cases they're trustworthy, but they're very plotting, and at the worst they're a very they're very unethical in business, and they'll like at the best they're slightly manipulative in business, and at the worst they're downright unethical. And I keep on getting that with I was drawn to go this way and to and it running into the three of pentacles, which is business with their business dealings. It's like they've got a thing for really moving forward with money and accomplishment, and that is of the most utmost importance to this person, to the point where they would kind of to get their financial means met, they will kind of skirt over ethical lines in some cases. I'm seeing this image of the ethical lines. They're kind of I'm hearing, okay, here's the ethical line. They'll kind of for some cases they'll kind of skirt a little bit over it, but still stay within the bounds, of the ethical line. But in the worst cases, I'm hearing they'll kind of go in like here's the ethical line. They'll go in this direction, right? They'll veer away from it of what's ethical. So, but I'm getting a very business. I'm not getting a violent vibe from this pile. Like I'm not getting a wife beater, abuser type energy. I'm just getting, and I'm hearing too, they're very much able to control their impulses. And I'm almost getting, like, a corporate, they say a lot of people in corporations, they can be psychopaths, right? They have a tendency towards being psychopaths. They make a lot of money. But I'm getting the vibes from this person, like a very shrewd business CEO psychopath. Like they could have moved up the ranks quite quickly in the financial realm. But yeah, I keep on getting very much financial realm for this, and they can control their impulses. They're very good at that. And I don't get a lot of emotional loving energy. Like I said, not a wife abuser energy or not a abuser energy really, I don't think, but it's more like they'll do anything to like it's just of the it's so important, like they have this absolute thing for obtaining as much money as possible, and not even for the things that money will buy, right? Because a lot of times people will connect money to what it will buy, but it's just for its money's sake, if that makes sense. They'll just move forward just for it's just a program that seems to run in their mind of like, I've got to make as much money for money's sake. It's not even to have a vacation. It's like they don't associate anything with the money, like, like vacations or good experiences, right? It's just sort of like money. It's like this program that got installed, possibly in another life, possibly from child, but this, and then the judgment. And I'm hearing from this, it kind of their fixation with money, it's sort of like it keeps them from moving to higher spiritual realms. Like I just don't get a very strong spiritual sense. It's just a one track mind towards money and accomplishment. And it could be, well, the I'm not saying it necessarily is, but Knight of Pentacles is sort of Capricorn energy or Virgo energy, but not necessarily. I'm not saying that, you know, those are bad signs. I mean, my cat is a Capricorn, and she's not bad. So, but it's just that's kind of the energy on the, like, every sign has its worst side. I'm not in its best side, right? Like all the arcana, like every sign does, right? There's no sign that's better than others. They're all equal, but you know, that's what I'm get, and it's sort of like they're kind of one of the judgment. I get this energy of they're very much trapped to the 3D. Like they're very much trapped to the 3D with their fixation. So it's sort of like their fixation could almost be their own, not being able to go up to higher spiritual heights is its own, like, negative non-reward or karma, if you will. Something like that. It's like, so yeah, that's what I get for pile number 2. I hope that is of useful to you, and I hope that you like and subscribe, and have a good day. All right, it is time for pile number 3. For is a particular person that you know, are they trustworthy? So let's see the cards that we get for pile number 3. We've we've got the 9 of wands, the page of wands. I don't know why I keep on stuttering on the word wand for some reason, or not being able to say it, but that's okay. We've got the 8 of wands, and we've got the 8 of cups. Interesting. So, getting interesting energy. Let me see if I can, okay, get some. I'm hearing this person could be trustworthy in the right context. I'm hearing I'm hearing that they have a lot of stuff in their life that they're unhappy with, but they're kind of their own worst critic. That's what I get from this. Like they're hard on themselves more than other people are hard on them. And I'm hearing they could be trustworthy, but they have a lot of demons that come out. And I just saw an image of somebody cheating. Like that's what I saw, cheating. Like I'm getting a sex addiction energy from this for some reason. And I'll get more. I'm sure there's more to this, but yeah, and it's like, it's interesting. Like it's like they'll act in ways that they hate themselves for. That's what I see from this. It's like I hear like cheating, sex addiction for someone, cheating, sex addiction, spending time with prostitutes. Interesting. I don't know why it's going in that kind of direction, but it's like, but they act, and there could be other vices that they have. I hear the word vices, vices, vices. So they have a lot of vices, and they're just barely trying to hold it together as they have this energy from themselves that they can't contain. I'm hearing they act in this way, but they have almost like this moralistic side too, this moralistic spiritual side to them as well. But they act in a way, like I hear that they may like have cheated on their wife, but they feel guilt for it. Like a part of them is, oh, I should never. So they do. It's like they have this side, and I'm hearing it could be other things than that, but that's just the example they want me to say, is that, like, okay, that's an example, but you can place what other vices. I hear vices, 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 and that being a prime example, but there could be other vices other than sex addiction, cheating, prostitutes. I also heard gambling. Interesting. I heard gambling as well too. Um, let's see. But maybe it could be like sort of. I see them kind of like the type that would hang out in a seedy casino, and then again, and then also for gambling, like 4 of Pentacles in reverse can mean somebody getting rid of all their money. So I'm here again. It could be related to money, to gambling, that kind of issue, like destructive with money, like just a very hanging out with prostitutes, but not. It's like interesting because they've got another side to them that's just like, okay, I shouldn't be doing this, and I really don't like this aspect of myself, and why am I doing this, and I got to keep myself in line, and then they feel kind of defensive with other people because they know, oh, I shouldn't be this way. They feel defensive of themselves. They'll just but I'm hearing it's like a very conflicted energy because they want to. seek out the spiritual, like despite this sort of seedy gambling, sex addict, chain smoking. I'm sorry, that's just the image like I'm getting, like chain smoking, gambling, kind of being the kind of type that would hang out with prostitutes, crack addicts, and not to we shouldn't judge people who have addictions, right? Because it's just a you know it's an emotional issue, and they shouldn't be judged, but it's just got kind of energy, and then but they really want to get out of it in the spiritual side, but it's like they have the side that judges them, and it's like they're being attacked from the inside is the energy that I get, and they don't want this side to themselves, but they feel, oh, like this heaviness, like, oh, I have to, maybe this is all I can be. I hear it too. So, and they don't like disappointing people, but they feel like they have disappointed people, and it's like a letter. Interesting, that came up. Like, so maybe they write. It's interesting. They want a letter from you, or they wrote a letter. Interesting. They write a letter to themselves. Like they tend to be kind of introspective, and they have this side that's sociable, but they also have this side that's kind of like introspective and writes to themselves, if that makes sense. Like they really like to journal. So, and then sigh, and then it's like it goes with kind of the heavy energy that I get from this, and perhaps gambling, like I said, because Four of Pentacles reversed, instead of holding on to their money in the upright, it's going everywhere, right? It's like going everywhere, and it's like, and I hear that they're very kind of, they may even something involving a pastor, I'm hearing, or they may be a pastor, or they've seen a pastor, or something involved. They may go to a church with a pastor, something like that. So they're definitely not. They're not, and I hear that they've definitely fallen from other lives. Like they've fallen. Like they had a spiritual center, but somehow they got stuck through the last couple lives that they're in these vices that they're trying to in sort of a spiritual battle within them to like not be a cheating, chain smoking, prostitute hanging around with gambling person, if that makes sense. I hope that maybe I hear some cases alcohol too. Alcohol, smoking, sex, drugs, all that kind of but not necessarily. I don't see them as like being a crazy meth addict or anything, but just kind of that heavy, seedy energy, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm trying to explain, like, just the heavy, heavy feeling to it. Okay, let's see what else we can get to. Service. And I get from that, they're trying to, they feel this guilt out of some of the ways that they've acted, so they're trying to, like, in some cases, they're trying to serve their way, like it's like they act in this way, they feel guilty about being, like, for example, I'm not saying for every person that this pile represents, but like they may feel, oh, I shouldn't have been with that prostitute last night, so I'm going to get, yeah, like I shouldn't have been with that prostitute last night, so I'm going to give $50 to the homeless person. So they have kind of a spiritual compass within themselves. Like it's like, oh well, they really want to balance things out. Like I shouldn't have done that, so I'm going to do something better, or I did this, so I'm going to really, you know, go all out by getting this person a nice present type thing because I did this and I'm guilty about it. So they do have a moral compass, but they act against that moral compass. In conversation, like they feel like almost like they've conversated, that's the word, they've conversated with people about this, like they've tried to deal with it, they've tried to level up, perhaps with a pastor or something like that, like something like they've tried to level up spiritually from their dark side. So it's kind of like their dark side and widower. So my sense is that in some cases, this person went down the pipe when they became a widower. Like they didn't have any more direction anymore, so they started going in this direction. But I'm not getting a bad person. I almost feel a little bad for this person, if you will. Despite, I mean, their sort of seedy nature, it's like they almost like they kind of fell. They fell is what I got from their upper spiritual nature, and it's painful for them. And death, interesting, death. So either this person, they may be close to death, but it's more, I hear that there's a lot of death around them. Like they hang around a lot of people who are close to dying because of their bad behavior. I heard the word like AIDS in some cases, or like hanging around people like that. Like it's like not, I mean, not, but like people who are really suffering, or they try to help people suffering, or they hang out with people who are really suffering. That's maybe one way they try and serve, is by like being around, helping people that are really struggling, that are close to death, right, in various ways. And they kind of try and help these people, but they kind of are in that energy too. If I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to convey. And I got 7 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like sorrow. Yeah, I'm getting all this kind of widower, sorrow, death. This kind of, they really need to level up. I think, as they need to kind of, I heard the word lighten their soul. They really wanna get this 8 of Cups energy, right? You see, he's searching in the other rendition of the tarot deck. He's walking away, searching for something. It's kind of, they're searching, but they kind of, the circular loop. It's hard for them to get out of this spiritual circuit. They're searching and actually get down a right path. I hear, like they're having a trouble doing that. They're having trouble, like going down, getting out of this rut. So I'm hearing in some cases, if you have positive feelings towards that person, just give them some positive energy. I'm hearing, and that they'll get out of this addiction, this sort of negative, seedy addictions that they seem to have a proclivity to, that they sometimes don't like that about themselves. All right, so that was pile 3. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day. All right, pile number 4. We've got the Ace of Swords reversed, the 4 of Wands upright. We've got the 5 of Cups or upright, and we've got the 4 of weird. This is interesting. Not weird, but interesting. We've got the 5 of Cups in the center, and okay. So what I'm getting immediately from this person is they're quite fake. They're very, very fake, and it's like how bad they are depends on like various factors, right? And obviously this is a collective reading, but I'm getting like they're very fake in terms of what they're feeling. It's completely, what they express themselves to feel is completely opposite to what they actually feel. We've got the 5 of Cups, and there, see, this is a very sad card, right? The 5 of Cups, and it's interesting because it's in the middle of this whole spread right here. It's in the middle of this spread, and it's like they're very, like, I'm here, you can't really get a straight answer from this person because they're very fake, and they almost delude themselves with their, because okay, let me explain. We've got the 5 of Cups in the center, and then we've got surrounded by the 4 of Wands on either side. So it's like these are very the 2 4 of Wands, they're a happy card. Here, see, happy, celebrating. Here, happy, celebrating. And you've got the 4 of Wands right here, 4 of Wands surrounding the cup. So it's like to have such this desperate energy is, they're not showing you exactly who they are. That's basically what I'm getting. They're definitely not showing you who they are. They've got some serious demons, I'm hearing, that they're dealing with, and they present themselves as being, oh, happy, happy, like I'm so celebratory, and it's almost like they've really lost touch with themselves, because this is the side that they've become, this side so much they've almost cut themselves off from this side, that they don't even know that they have it. Like, I see a very confused soul, very confused, and it's like they have an immense amount of anger. They can't, They feel they can't express the amount of disappointment and rage that they feel inside. Like they can't. And this could be a more like a male figure. I'm getting 75% of the time it's male, 25% it's female. But because you know how males are, they have to like um, hide their emotions more. So not necessarily so much now, but that's so they feel they can't even express any of this. So this is the side that you'll see of them, right? That you'll see them of being like, oh, jovial and everything's okay, and they're never really like say how bad they feel, and it's almost like to the point the bad that they feel is almost to the point of being suicidal and so bad that they've to not go there, they've just completely cut that side off of themselves. And the Four of Wands. So this is what they'll show to you. So, like, and I hear that once this person, you maybe want to look out for this person because once they go there, they might really, really go dark. I heard, like, they really might, because I hear they've got really some really repressed bad stuff inside of them. And once they start to travel there, if something triggers them to go there, it might, you might just want to keep an eye on this person. But I hear that, yeah, they're not necessarily, they may be, I hear mildly trustworthy in some cases, but because of their self that's so fractured, they can never really be entirely trustworthy because their side is so, like, they don't ever speak their truth ever. They don't express their emotions ever. And that makes them inherently untrustworthy, even though I don't sense like a evil person, but when somebody doesn't express their true their true emotions, and they've hid them off so much from themselves, it's like how can they be trustworthy? It's just not possible. So that's what I get from this, just some really, and I'm hearing when they go dark, they might really go dark, and you may want to keep an eye on this person, like I don't know, but I'm just getting it could be about 10 to 15 different things. Like they could maybe snap. I heard they could harm themselves. They could snap, harm somebody else. They could do something like I hear even. I don't want to like it's kind of I don't want to even put this into reality, right? So, but it's like some sort of like road accident because they're so like but I'm not saying we want to cancel that reality, cancel, but it's like that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like because they just have so much repressed feelings, and it has to come out somewhere. So it's like good luck when you're the person that is the target when this person finally erupts. That's what I get. Like good luck. Like you don't know what kind of form it's gonna come out. Like you don't know, and I hear they could in some cases be violent because they might actually just snap. So like the facade is not it's not gonna you can't hold forever. And when they do, good luck to the people around this person. That's what I hear. And it's just like I'm hearing that people like some people might be quite surprised at this, but some people kind of have an inkling. Some people won't be surprised if this person snaps, but other people will just be like, okay, I kind of like someone intuitively sensitive might kind of okay, I kind of felt something was amiss all this time. So yeah, I get 50-50 in terms of the people around them. Some people might, like I said, might be okay, well, what? Where did that come from? Others people are like, okay, yeah, I could kind of feel that brewing like under the surface. I don't know quite what that is, and but it's something. I'm hearing it's definitely something. And I'm hearing that the person they're trying to move forward in a healthy way, but it's like I see this at the Knight of Cups. They're very wobbly. They're very wobbly and unstable. Like that's what I get. Like sort of unstable, and it's like they themselves don't even know what they're gonna do next. So I find it hard if somebody doesn't know what they're going to do next. I find it hard to see how that person could be fully trusted, if that makes any sense. Like, because if they don't even know what they're going to do next, it's like how can someone be deemed 100% trustworthy? They may be trustworthy in certain cases, but it's like if they have such a bedrock of unhealth, of such like You know what I mean? Like it's hard to, but I hear raise your vibration, and I hear that the only way you can deal, well, I hear that this person needs to raise their vibration. Like that's the way out of this, is to face their feelings, express their feelings, their anger with words, and then they can be able to raise their vibration. But like, I hear they need to raise their vibration, and I also hear that if you're kind of close to this person, that and I hear in the cases where you're close to this person, that raising your vibration may help them, but I hear that more so than that, it's like they need to raise their vibration themselves. It's kind of a journey they need to go on in themselves to be fully fine and trustworthy, if you will, and whole. Like, I hear that it's, yeah, an interesting kind of a dark, scary energy I'm getting from this. Although you may have picked up on this a little bit, but you may not know the extent of it. Is what I'm hearing. You may not know, like, it's pretty bad. Like, this person may have had some pretty severe trauma, I hear, and it's like, um, it's pretty bad, I hear, and going on inside of them. But that's all we get for pile. I think maybe I'll get another card. Prison. Interesting. I got the word. One more card I got. I got prison, and I hear that they feel very much that they're in a mental prison, but they don't even know this. Like, they feel like they're in a mental prison, but they don't even know this. Like, they don't know how to get out of this mental prison. But I hear they need to raise their like, we all need to raise our vibration, right? That's all basically all of our goals. But like, this person in particular really needs to, I hear. Like, but yeah, prison. They're in a mental prison right now, and things are a little shaky. Things are a little shaky in their head, and it could come out in different ways. And I hear good luck to the person who's around this person when it finally does. That's what I hear. So, that's all I get for pile four. An interesting pile. I hope that was helpful to you. And yeah, I hope that you like and subscribe, and that you have a good day. Goodbye.